Good morning, guys. It is a beautiful sunny day today. Yeah, nice. So this is going to be part 9 of the garage shop build. And we're basically right where we left off in the other video. And I think what I'm going to work on, at least in the beginning of this video, is I want to get this area here cleaned up, set up, get this next course of bricks on so that I can start getting that leveled out and prepared for cement. Even though I don't know when I'm going to do that cement, I want to get that area prepared because right now it's kind of steep and I've been working over here and it's just not a good area to work. So that's going to be the beginning of this video at least. So thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe and let's get into it. All right, so looking at this area over here, way back when, I think in like video 1 or 2 of the shop build video series, I put in this retaining wall, and you know, looking back on those videos, I guess it was actually about a year ago when I started doing this. That's how long this, you know, I've been planning and working on this. So I have the retaining wall put in. You know, my earlier calculations were not quite right because the way that we ended up having to do the slab for this, we had to build it up a lot more than I had thought it was going to need to be done in the beginning. So this ended up being a little bit higher. So basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to relocate our little kind of garden table here with our, you know, what we have growing. I'm going to relocate that over, kind of more over in this area by the catchment tank. I'm going to power wash this wall because it's got like a good layer of, you know, buildup and dirt and whatnot on it. And then I'm going to get another course of brick put in here. Of course, I'm going to move all this stuff, the rebar and everything will get moved. And then I'm going to see what level that brings it up to and see if that's going to be good enough for this. And the plan here for this sidewalk, I'm basically going to drill into the slab. I'm going to anchor rebar that's going to come across, have a 90, and then go down into these bricks. And then the slab is going to get poured on top of the brick, you know, to here, and then that'll be the sidewalk basically on the side of the shop. So again, I don't know when I'll actually get concrete done here. You know, that may be a while off because my main focus is on the shop. But right now, this is just something I wanted to get knocked out just because this area is kind of dangerous and hard to work in. So yeah. So I'm going to start by getting this stuff cleaned up and out of the way. Whew. Okay, well, that was messy. But this whole area is cleaned up now. So I'm going to get ready to start putting in the next course of bricks. I'll continue. I'll do one here, maybe do another 2 there, but I'm not super concerned with this part right now. That'll be down the road when I eventually put in, you know, stairs here. It'll be like 2 steps maybe, since this level's so high up now. We'll see. So the way these work, they have these fiberglass pins, which I have a bunch right here. And they have these holes, 2 holes on either side. So the fiberglass pins go in there, and then the next brick sits on top. So if you look down in there, see the 2 fiberglass pins? That's from the brick down below. So that's how these work. I'm going to put the pins in and start bringing some blocks over. These things are 90 pounds each. They're like 80 or 90 pounds each. So that's going to be some work. Luckily, I don't think I need too many of them just to add one more course. all the inspectors. No need to get up, Jerry. You can sit back down. All right, so, man, I forgot how heavy these things were. So you see the level that brings that up to, which is just about what I was looking for. So basically the slab will be poured on top of this, so it'll actually still be, 4 inches higher than what that is. And then it'll go, into the slab over here. And then I'll probably put, a slight angle on it just so rain will wash away from the foundation area. And then of course this is going to have to get filled in with gravel, compacted, I guess formed up and ready. And then what's going to happen over here is, so I'm going to basically drill a hole in there once I figure out, what the height and everything's going to be. I'll drill a hole, put the rebar in, anchor the rebar, and then it'll come, to here. It'll have a 90 go down into this hole, which I'll fill with cement as well. And then some of these other pockets I'll fill with cement just to get everything locked in. So I'll probably do the rebar going across like every other brick. So it'll be like maybe 10 pieces. And then I'll run probably 1, maybe 2 pieces tied in to all those, the length of this, just so that it's, really solid. And also we'll, make sure to hold this retaining wall in place. Initially, which if, I should have been thinking about it before, but it would have been nice to actually run the rebar all the way down and then fill it with cement all the way down, but that didn't happen. So these are locked in anyway, and then as you fill them with gravel, because of the shape, the gravel actually locks all this in too. And then the wall itself, if you see, it actually slopes backwards. So every time you put another course of bricks, it goes back an inch or 2. And then that's what helps give it the strength as well. So you see that old clip, pretty dramatic change, but that was a year ago. Actually a little over a year and a couple months. So I'm starting to prep these spots. So basically these, every other one, I'm going to run a piece of rebar down the hole, and then I'm going to fill this with cement. So that goes all the way down to the bottom brick, roughly about almost 2 feet. So every other one I'm going to be doing that too, filling with cement, running a piece of rebar down in there. And for right now the rebar is just going to be sticking straight up. So I'm going to make it roughly about 2 feet or maybe 20 inches taller. And then after I get this area filled with gravel compacted, I will drill in to the foundation or to the slab, the same location where this is. I will anchor a piece in here. This piece will get bent down and then they'll get tied together. And then also I will end up running, 1 to 2 pieces across all these, and then that way it'll all be tied in together. And then I need to this area back here, I'm going to need to build this up, and then of course fill all this, because basically this sidewalk I'll end up screwing in a 2x4 to the back side that will come across here, and it'll have to meet up on here. So I'm going to have to bring all this up to grade so that it's the same level, so that when I pour the slab it'll be one solid piece. Not exactly sure how this corner is going to work out, but I'll figure out something. But again, this is going to have to be built up, and then eventually there will be a post added here, and then this fencing will end up tying into that post. And then up here, once the sidewalk is there, I'll have an actual gate that goes from here to here so that the dogs can't go back here. And then this fencing that's behind here will actually be gone eventually. And then once that corner of the shop is done, I will connect that fence to the corner of the shop. So the back is just going to be open. So that's what I'm working on. I got the concrete mixer started, and what we're doing now is we're making up the rebar pieces. Basically drilling a hole into the 2x4, we're running it down until it touches the gravel down below, and then we're pulling it back about an inch or so, and then putting a zip tie on it. So we're getting all these set up. My son's helping me. So we got 2 more here, and then get these set up, and then we'll start mixing some concrete and filling the holes. Oh yeah, one other thing. I put some duct tape on these seams just so that we don't have any run out. I mean, it still may leak a little bit, but you just don't want it, to leak a lot. Because you can see there's, some cracks in between quite a few of these. So the other sides of these will get filled with gravel eventually. A lot of them, there is gravel in it already. You can kind of see it behind there. So yeah. All right, so this is all done. So I also filled in the little holes here, or sorry, here, because eventually once the slab gets poured on top of this, I'm gonna have to have a board on here. So having these holes filled in will make it easier to put the board up there. This side down here is still kind of just left open. You see what I'm talking about with these holes, so those are filled in on all these. This corner I'm going to have to just figure something out so I can get this filled in, because when this slab is poured, I would like it to be even with the back wall of the slab when the sidewalk slab is poured. So I don't know if that's going to mean coming all the way out to here and then just kind of rounding it in, or if I'm going to cut it off right here and make it square and then just do something else with this. So we'll see. So this is going to sit till tomorrow, and then I will pull all the wood off, and then I will start backfilling this with concrete, or gravel, geez. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So this morning I took a little break and we planted a tree in the backyard. I don't have video, but you can see from the pictures I used pallets and basically screwed 4 pallets together, put some weed mat over it. I chipped some of the wood, filled it up, put in some dirt, and then planted a rainbow eucalyptus, which is my favorite tree. All right, it's the next day. So I have all of the wood framing off and supports for this rebar. And now what I'm going to work on is getting this corner built up. So I'm going to take a couple more of these bricks to bring this up. And then I'm going to throw some big rocks in here as well, so that I could fill this whole area and bring it up to level with the rest of this. And then we'll start adding gravel here to make everything level and even. And then gonna start digging out the piping over there so we can put 90s on it and start having it go that way. Okay. So I took a couple more of these bricks and kind of built up that side a little bit. And then, luckily I have tons of rocks around my property. So I threw a bunch of rocks in there, and now I'm going to start just dumping some gravel over there to bring this up to the same level as the rest of this. And then start actually filling this in as well, to bring it up to the level of the retaining blocks. Yeah. Man, hauling gravel is tiring. So just showing my progress. I have this whole area is now filled in, raised up. Started tamping it down a little bit. So now I'm just bringing in more loads to fill in all this and make everything level with the top of the brick, of the retaining wall brick. I am going to leave pockets. So you see that one right there? I'm not going to fill that in because when the concrete is poured, I want it to go into those spots just to lock in all of these bricks. So all of these holes here, these little spots here, the concrete will go in there a couple of inches so everything will get locked in. But then it'll be, slab all the way across. So it'll be roughly 4 inches, and then however deep these pockets end up being. I am putting a little bit of fill in there. So these ones obviously I haven't gotten to yet. But over here you can see these ones are pretty much filled in as far as they're going to be filled in. And then this will get swept off, of course. So that's it. I'll keep going. All right. Totally safe now. Made it to Home Depot, got some orange caps. I also got a couple of the pieces so that I could extend this. I got some 45s and some 90s, but I think I'm going to do 45s and kind of bring it down along the wall here. This is just going to be a short extension. I'm basically going to get it far enough past the edge of the slab here because that's where I'll be pouring the sidewalk. So I just want to get it extended out beyond that for now. All right, so it's going to be something like this. I had to dig this out a little bit so that these could actually go down. These are not glued yet. I'm just fitting everything up, making sure that it's flowing nicely and it's hugging right along that wall. So I gotta cut that 3/4 inch one because it's sticking out a little ways. You can't see because of the block, but I don't want it sticking out that far. But yeah, the other two were pieces that were already cut and they fit pretty good. So I'm gonna get these glued up. All right, so this is what the form is going to look like. I'm basically going to tie it into the slab right there. I use a couple of the concrete anchors that I have. So it'll be tied up against there. For right now, I mean, I'm not going to attach this yet, but what will happen is I'm probably going to have to do multiple pieces here. And I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do is see if they have longer tap cons, like maybe 6-inch ones. And I'm going to basically drill a tap con down through the 2x4 into the top of the brick. And that's how I'm going to anchor it. So basically, because this is a kind of a radius, especially down there at the end and then up here at this end. So I'm going to have to cut some individual 2x4s, basically the size of the brick. Sections where it's straighter, I can put a longer piece or maybe bend a piece a little bit after I put a couple Tapcon anchors in it, and then I can just kind of bend it to match the wall. So most likely that's what's going to happen unless they don't have 6-inch Tapcons, but I'm pretty sure they do. And then there will be 2 Tapcons going into the slab that way, holding it in there. These are going to get bent down 90 degrees. I'll drill a hole here. Use the anchoring epoxy for the rebar in there, and then that piece of rebar will get tied to this piece of rebar. And that'll be the same on all 6 of these. Similar situation in the back here. I will do the same thing, 2 Tapcons in there. This will come out to here. This one here I can see is it's a little low, so I'm going to have to get some more gravel to fill this in. You can see, there's a pocket right here, and there's a pocket there, and then this is also that's a little bit closer to level right there. So I'm gonna have to get some more gravel over on this side. And then I will actually make this side slightly higher because I want any rain that comes on here to come off away from the building and then, you know, down over the wall. You know, it does rain here quite a bit. So this area here, eventually I would like to put weed mat down here and then fill this whole area with red cinder just to keep it clean. I don't really like the grass in here. I suppose I'll probably still have to clean up chicken poop and dog poop though. So that's the plan. I'll keep moving forward. All right, so looking at this, you can see that there's already a slight bit of an angle coming away from the wall. I think I want to make it just a tad more. So you see where the bubble is? I think I want to put it about like that, so that the bubble's basically not quite halfway. Maybe if I went halfway, yeah, probably halfway on the bubble, that would be a good one. So I'm going to basically do the same thing on this end, and then I'll do the same thing on that end, and then I'm going to snap a chalk line from this side to that side just so that I have a reference line all the way across. All right, on the back side here, tap cons are in, this board is in. This one I did like pretty much level because raising it up was really high, because I know that this brick is a little higher in the corner, so I made it more level. I snapped 2 tap cons. I think I must have hit the rebar when I was going in, so those will get pulled out. And then that side down there is in, and the tap cons are in as well. So you can see where I'm going to need to fill in gravel to bring that up to where the level of the 2x4 is. Why are you guys following me? I always think I have food for them. All right, so I didn't get as far in this video as I was hoping. You can see I got this filled in, so there's no more gap there. And then also on this side, there's still a slight tiny gap, but that's a pretty big drop off there, so I'm gonna have to backfill that pile some more so that this will be like that. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. It's not a big rush for me to get this set up anyway. I just wanted to kind of get it further along because I'm not sure when I will be able to order concrete again anyway. So let me turn the camera around. So like I was saying, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to order another batch of concrete anyway, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to tie into that. I would of course like to get this sidewalk poured. I would like to get the back sidewalk poured, and then also the brick wall. I would like to have that done so that I can fill all the cavities with cement too, and get all that done at one time. So, and I think there's a, I think it's a 5-yard minimum when you order something like that. I think it's a 5-yard minimum. So I got to get enough stuff that I can use 5 yards of concrete. So yeah, it may be a little while. As I get more done on this little sidewalk section, if I do, then I'll just show it in a future video. But anyway, so yeah, I was working at Summit today, kind of tired. That's going to wrap up this video. This is episode 9 of the garage workshop build. So I just want to say thank you guys as always for tuning in, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That would be great. I'll see you guys on the next video. Aloha.